Aiken County 911.
Hey, we got a girl over here running for her life.
You need to sit down, sweetie. Hey, calm down. Come on. You all right?
Deputies arrested Jonathan Willard after they say he tried to kidnap a woman and impersonated a police officer Friday morning. The victim says he came up behind her, said he was with the police, handcuffed her, and put her in the back of a green metallic Cadillac. She says he took her phone, social security card, and more, claiming to take her to the police station. Deputies say instead he pulled into a driveway and got out to look through the trunk. That's when the victim was able to escape and flag down help from a passing truck driver.
And tonight, your senior investigative reporter Liz Owens is live from our newsroom after speaking to one of those witnesses. Liz.
Divine delayed timing. Those are the words Anthony Moore said that led him to being at the right place at the right time.
Aiken County 911.
Hey, we got a girl over here running for her life.
So I believe God held me up with those preceding things to be at that appointed place at that time with that dash cam.
Anthony Moore spends a lot of time on the road. He's on the road now, sharing the story behind the video.
Had to have been around close to break of daylight, 7 o'clock, somewhere close to that area.
He was driving along Williston Road when suddenly a young woman ran out near Boggy Gut Road.
But she would run on one side of the road, try to run over there, run to the other side of the road, try to run over there. She said, help me, he's trying to kidnap me.
Investigators later identified the driver as 39-year-old Jonathan Willard of New Ellington.
So when she got to my side of my door, he pulled up beside and said, I'm law enforcement. He didn't show me the badge, he just held it up. Just held it up sideways. And he said, I'm with law enforcement, and she just jumped out of my car. She said, no, I didn't. You trying to kidnap me.
Another driver stopped to help, calling 911 as he walked up.
That man trying to run her over?
Trying to run her over when I came up.
Right, I'm on the phone with the cops now. Yeah, handcuffs on her.
He can't be legit because...
Hell no, he's in the white Cadillac, right?
Anthony says the Cadillac took off, leaving the young woman with them on the roadside.
Here, you want to come sit on this little hill right here? You need to sit down. I'm afraid you're going to pass out. I wish I had a way to get these damn things off of you.
Can she remember what he was
wearing?
Oh,
I got him. I got the handcuffs off.
And I said, do you have a phone? And can we call somebody other than 911? And he's sending the cops and the rescue squad. She said, he has my phone and my diploma. I said, your diploma? She said, yes, I just graduated yesterday. And she was just frantic. She wasn't talking like I'm talking to you now.
The young woman told dispatch she wanted to stay at her dad's house after graduating on Thursday. She was walking home to her mom's the next morning when a greenish-white Cadillac DeVille stopped her near the corner of Banks Mill Road and Club Drive.
She said that car came out of some kind of apartments on the road where she was walking, and he ran up to her and said, I'm with the cops, and I got to take you in. Handcuffed and threw in the back seat. I said, well, I said, where was this? She said, way on North Aiken side. I said, and he brought you way out here? She said, yeah, and he pulled in that road, and she said, he left his door open, and when he was fumbling around in the trunk, and that's when I jumped out of the car and ran out in the highway, and that's when I saw it.
When Anthony isn't behind the wheel, he's behind the pulpit.
Delayed divine timing. Because God has an appointed place for us to be at an appointed time. When you are expecting things to happen, consider the things that God may be doing in your life or holding you up for. Standing in line at the grocery store and you're in a hurry. Why are so many people in that lane today? Could be because God is holding you up for something. Holding you up to save your life, or maybe you're going to be in place to save somebody else's life.
Investigators found and arrested Jonathan Willard the following day. He's in jail now, charged with impersonating a law enforcement officer and kidnapping.
Just a wild situation, and to watch that video and hear that witnesses breakdown of everything that happened. I mean, it's a scary situation. I can only imagine what's going through her mind after all of this.
It's just incredible. And to have Anthony Moore reach out and tell us what happened and share his side of the story. I mean, the timing it takes for him to be where he was when all of this happened is just incredible. He says God put him in the right place at the right time, and he likely could have saved her life that day, too.
Absolutely. And we are thinking of her right now because that's a traumatic situation. Yeah. Remember, Aiken County deputies are asking you to call them if you had any similar incidents or interactions with Willard.
So Jonathan Willard decided to pretend like he was a police officer, arrest a black woman, and then when she was able to escape, tried to run her over. So this happened on May 29th in Aiken, South Carolina, of all places. And he walked up to her and told her he was a police officer, put her hands behind her back. He was going to take her into custody, and she complied, because y'all be like, just comply. Hell no. She complied, and he put her in the back seat and said, I'm taking you to the police station. He ends up pulling into a driveway with the unmarked gate, and he backs in. And she is in the vehicle trying to figure out what he got going on. She could not get out of the back seat because it was locked. So he went to the trunk and was in there looking for something. And she said, I have to get the hell out of Dodge. So she jumped out through the front door and starts running. Now, she ends up running towards Wilson Street, which is a 2-lane street. And luckily, a truck driver, Anthony Moore, saw her, and she starts running towards his 18-wheeler. And thankfully, he had a camera in there. Good job, Anthony. She starts running towards Anthony. He immediately calls 911 because he's like, this woman is running with her hands behind her back. She's handcuffed, and this car is trying to run her over. Jonathan then jumped back in the vehicle trying to run her over as she is running towards the 18-wheeler. So, of course, he got arrested. Now, they only charged him with impersonating a police officer and kidnapping. They really should have tried him for attempted murder as well, because he was trying to take her life, baby, trying to run her over with that doggone vehicle. That is attempted murder in my book.
Have y'all seen the video of the woman that was on a walk down in South Carolina, and then a guy ended up pulling up on her and claiming that he was with the police, and she believed him, and he put her in cuffs, put her in the backseat of his car, and then as they were leaving and driving off, the woman had noticed that the man had continued to ask her the same questions, and that's when she realized that this man wasn't with the police at all, and that she was actually being kidnapped. The man ended up stopping the car. She ended up getting up out of the car and running away and everything, and luckily she made it to the freeway or made it to the road to where she ran into a truck driver, and that truck driver helped her right away. I'm playing the video for y'all, and I'll be right back. And women, y'all definitely have to be cautious when y'all out there on walks by yourself and or a jog by yourself. If somebody pulls up on you and they claim that they with the police or anything like that, if they can't show you no real identification or verification, continue to go, run, call the police yourself, and ask them if this person is truly with the police department or whatever it may be. And take a picture of them if you need to take a picture of them, whatever it may be.
A woman in handcuffs sprinting down a South Carolina road.
Let me just say, God was looking out for this woman that day, because as y'all see, she's in cuffs. And you know how hard it is to run in cuffs and to get away from somebody, that's especially somebody that's in the car and you got your hands cuffed behind your back?
Hey, we got a girl over here running for her life.
Watch the woman race toward this semi-truck with a swerving car right behind her.
Seemingly that car was trying to run that person over.
The truck's driver, Anthony Moore, telling me that he was driving Friday morning in Aiken County, South Carolina, when that woman suddenly emerged from the woods.
She ran up to my truck and said, please help me. He's trying to kidnap me.
I'll continue the video in a second. Let's get this truck driver credit. You know how many people continue to go on and say, oh, I was just minding my business. That's not any of my business. This man stopping to make it his business saved this woman's life that day, because that man probably would have succeeded in running her over with his car.
You can see the man here, identified by investigators as 39-year-old Jonathan Willard. According to a sheriff's office report, the victim says Willard approached her while she was out on a walk, claiming to be with the police. He placed her in handcuffs, then into the rear of his car. The victim says she believed him at first, but got suspicious when he kept asking the same questions. Eventually, Willard pulled over, according to the report, and that's when the victim made her remarkable escape, running to the road and to more.
Did you for even a split second think this was a legitimate law enforcement officer?
No, sir. His face looked dirty. He was smoking a cigarette, had a cigarette hanging out of his mouth.
Willard has since been arrested and charged with impersonating a law enforcement officer and with kidnapping after this disturbing scene caught on camera.
I'm so happy that that truck driver ended up being in the right place at the right time and used his heart that day to stop and care about that woman and to see what was going on. Because if he didn't and had kept going, who knows what would have happened to that woman? She may not be alive today. And I also want to say the police need to also investigate to see if he had anything to do with any other missing women that came missing from that area down there in South Carolina. Yes, I said it. He may have been involved in other women disappearing out of South Carolina down there. Think about how he pulled up on this woman. Think about how comfortable he was to say that he was with law enforcement. Think about how comfortable he was to even chase after her. Personally, I don't think people just randomly one day just decide, oh, I see somebody walking. I'm finna try to snatch them. I'm gonna impersonate a cop. He was riding around with cuffs. And that lets me know that this motherfucker done did this before.
South Carolina, did you hear this story about in Aiken County, there was a girl that was being chased by somebody impersonating a police officer. This person ended up taking her phone, her social security card, put her in handcuffs, and placed her in the back of their car. Now, what allowed for her to escape was that they ended up in parking beside a gated community or something like that. And she got out, or it looks like she might have switched the car. I'm not sure. The story's crazy, I must say. But the point of me sharing it is we need, as women, to be making sure that we are checking these information. We can't just be taking people's word at it anymore. Like, times are crazy. People are impersonating ICE officers. People are impersonating police officers. This is the first time I've ever heard of an incident like this happening in South Carolina. But there's no telling how many incidents like this have happened, because this woman just so happened to escape because there was help. Imagine the other young girls and women that might not have been able to escape because they did not have help. We know how these black roads in South Carolina are, where you might not see another car for miles and miles. And thank God she saw a passenger truck driver who was able to help her from Denmark, South Carolina. Now, my point of sharing this, like I said, is just to bring awareness. Not to make people frightened, but to bring awareness that you need to be vigilant. You need to ask as many questions as possible. Not to take people's word as face value, because like we saw in this incident, there are people that might be impersonating police officers here in this motherfucking state. And as a woman, that is scary as fuck when you know that is who you typically want to turn to if you are in a dangerous situation. So ask questions, be vigilant, and share your motherfucking location with your family. Bye.
Guys, well, this is a very cautionary tale, and I thank God that God placed Mr. Moore in this woman's direction. Okay, so on May 29th in Aiken County, Jonathan Willard approached an 18-year-old woman in the Checker Creek Apartments and told her that he was police. One article said that he pulled up behind her. He patted her down, took her high school diploma and her cell phone, and put toy handcuffs on her. So at this point, the lady believed the man. So he placed her in his green Cadillac and told her she was taking her to the police station. So at this point, Jonathan is asking the woman the same question over and over and over and over again, and she's getting suspicious. So she's like, okay, something isn't right. Okay, so in an article, it says that he pulled up to like a gated place and she was running through the woods. But where it picks up, it's like in the woods. So basically, he lied. Instead, he took her to the woods, but he had to stop and get some tools out of the truck. So this is where she took the opportunity to run. The back door where she was at was locked because he had the child safety lock on. So his door was open, so she ran through the driver's door, and that's where she escaped, and that's where she was running. She was zigzagging, So he wouldn't try to hit her, but he was going full speed trying to run this woman over. So this man had all intentions of killing this woman. For what? I don't know. So luckily, Mr. Moore was there. You see in the body camera, he's the truck driver. He was driving an 18 wheeler on Wilston Road. And Jonathan was telling her, she escaped from my car. I'm police. He showed him the toy badge sideways. He didn't believe him. She got in the truck. Glenn rolled up. That's the second witness. And he was on the phone with police. That's when Jonathan drove off. And then he took Glenn took the toy handcuffs off of the woman. So basically, the woman graduated high school the day before this incident happened, and she was walking to her mother's house when this guy kidnapped her. So Jonathan is in Aiken County Jail. Pending charges are impersonating a police officer and kidnapping. They should have put attempted murder, since in the video you can see where she was running towards the car. Towards the truck, and then she moved to the right, and you can see where he was trying to hit her, but she was so close to the truck, he didn't want to hit the truck. So this is very caution. They say, be aware of your surroundings. If you can have somebody with you, have somebody with you. I go on daily walks. I try to carry mace or a bat because, of the homeless people here. And I always look both ways, even with my headset on, because people will do anything these days. It's very scary out here as a woman. And why he chose a black woman to be his victim, I don't know. It's very strange what this man was thinking. People are just, it was weird. I don't think he just was doing it on a random. I think he was contemplating, said, who could be my victim? But hell, what do I know? I'm just a talking head.
This woman was literally running for her life. What you're seeing is the moment that she escaped a kidnapper who she says was posing as a cop. This happened just last week in South Carolina. A young woman says that she was taking a walk when she was approached by a man who told her that he was a police officer. He then handcuffed her and put her in the back of his car. He told her he'd be taking her to a local police station, but instead he took her to an unmarked driveway. That's when she said he stopped and looked like he was rummaging for some type of tool. Well, she took that opportunity to escape. She ran out of that car, handcuffed and all. And she got the attention of a truck driver who just so happened to be a pastor. So this dash cam video that we're all seeing is from that truck driver. From his account, he said that he saw the young woman running, and he also saw that same car she escaped from trying to run her over. He says that he approached the driver, and the driver tried to say that he was a police officer, but the young woman quickly disputed those claims. And then, of course, the driver fled. So at this point, the truck driver and another Good Samaritan were left with the young woman. They were able to call 911 and get her some help. Now, police say they have since identified that driver. They found him. Here's his picture. and he has been charged with kidnapping as well as false impersonation of a police officer. They're also asking other women or anyone in that area if they've had any encounter with him that sounds similar to this young lady's to please contact them. South Carolina on May 28th. This high school graduate, a black African-American female, was walking from her father's house to her mother's house, which she usually does. That's when Jonathan Willard pulls up to her, grabs her, puts her in handcuffs, and throws her in the backseat of his car and says he's taking her to the county jail because he is a police officer. From there, Jonathan Willard pulls into a driveway, exits his vehicle, walks to the trunk, opens it, and that's when she made her escape. That's when you see the young lady running through the street. Jonathan Willard is in this vehicle. He sees her and then he attempts to run her over. That's where she spots him. He's moving in the direction that she's traveling. She spots the driver of the 18-wheeler. That's her here. She attempts to go to the driver's side, and that's when Jonathan is also navigating in her direction and attempting to hit her. She manages to dodge his vehicle and runs the opposite way, and that's when she runs into Mr. Moore. When she came up to Mr. Moore's vehicle, she was out of breath, huffing and puffing. You can hear it in the video. And he was asking her what's wrong. And that's when Jonathan Willard approached him and another truck driver. Jonathan Willard approached Mr. Moore and said, "Hey, I'm a cop. She broke free. I just need her back." That's when the young lady said, "No, he kidnapped me. He is trying to kidnap me and he's trying to kill me." That's when Mr. Moore and the other truck driver contacted authorities, and 39-year-old Jonathan Willard was arrested. He is being charged for impersonating law enforcement and kidnapping. First, I would like to say thank God Mr. Moore and the other truck driver were present, and thank goodness this girl's bravery allowed her to escape this situation.
It's only been a couple of days and South Carolina's already back in the news. Not with the whole child situation with Jonathan Willard. Jonathan Willard posed as a police officer and attempted to kidnap a young black woman. She decides to jump out of the car, thank God, and run across the road multiple times as he tried to hit her with his car. One of the truck drivers luckily stopped and tried to help her. He proceeds to drive up in his Cadillac, I think it's a CTS, and flashes a badge sideways and says he's law enforcement and that she just escaped out of his vehicle and he needs her back. That's where the young black woman says, "No, you just tried to kidnap me." Then there's another motorist that pulls up. He's already on the phone with 911. Thank God. And it's a man. Appreciate the good one. And him and the truck driver are going back and forth like, he can't be legit. He said, "Hell no, he in a Cadillac." So Jonathan Willard decides to take off, but the deputies catch up to him later. But I thank them gentlemen on that road because they saw he was trying to hit her with the car in order to stop her from telling her truth. So please be careful and please be vigilant while you are navigating through these southern states right now, because they will feel emboldened, just like after what happened with Oscar Grant, what happened with Trayvon Martin. Be safe. Please make sure you check out my profile. Let me know what y'all think over here. They ain't gonna show it to me at first, so if I don't get you a comment right away, you know why. Don't forget to check out my profile. Bye.